Before we get into our discussion with our guest, a quick note. The you problem with Dr. P is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute medical or psychological advice and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, welcome to the You Problem. What brings you here?
I need some direction. I'm a creative person. I write, I sing, I play, I do visual art, but I haven't been able to really get anything going as far as presentation to the world, I guess I would say.
How come?
Probably mostly lack of confidence in the beginning, like when I was like teenage years in my 20s, and then I got some confidence, but I'm like really scatterbrained, disorganized. I've got a garden variety of mental health diagnoses. They're all fun, but
They can be fun, huh?
yeah.
Do you know that it's not unusual for artists to have a lot of, psychological, turmoil?
Yeah, I think I've heard that. I think it's necessary in a way sometimes.
How so?
Well, for instance, I'm really sensitive. I feel like I feel things really deeply and maybe longer, and it's like everything's more saturated for me. Some people like to call it dramatic. I think it's just, keep things fun, but
Keep things.
it's like it has to be extra. So there's enough to spill over into like a work, a song, or a painting, or
I get it. Completely get it. I understand that. Now, not everybody's going to understand that, and it may not translate to the world of putting things out there, right? So is that what you're suggesting? That the depth of your emotional stuff that translates to your art, that doesn't really help in the business end of your art?
right. It even interferes with like daily life, at home. Like I do a couple things around the house, but I want to like baptize the kitchen or something. Like I want to deep clean, like
Okay.
make
Let
and
me
sell stuff. Okay.
let me tell you what I'm hearing. Okay?
Okay.
The way that you are expressing yourself right now tells me that you have some issues kind of organizing the thoughts in your head in a way that they sometimes are not productive. Is that correct?
Yeah, because there's a million.
Correct. So this is what I'm hearing. So when I ask you, for example, what is your question, and it gets all tangled up because all thoughts are like firing in there all kind of at the same time, right?
Right.
Okay, so why don't I formulate a question for you? Would that be helpful?
That would be helpful.
Okay, the question is, how do I figure out how to put some guardrails around all these fleeting thoughts that are all over my head all the time so I can be productive in multiple areas of my life? Does that sound like the correct question?
That sounds like a great question.
Okay, so what we're talking about is containment, right?
Right.
We need to put you in one of those little baby things, those little baby things that you put the baby in and they kind of like crawl across the room with their little, and it has all the bells and whistles and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But at least you won't bump into the walls and shit.
Yeah, that's right.
That's called emotional containment, love. Here's the beauty of having what you have. On one hand, and I say this in my practice all the time, on one hand, your creativity is a superpower. On the other hand, it destroys a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is the trick with people that have these amazing skill sets, right? That on one hand, you're like, this is amazing. I can freeze shit. And on the other hand, it's like, okay, I freeze everything I touch, so this is not working for me. Okay?
Right.
So what you need is a mentor.
Okay.
It's like the superhero movies. It's like, you're in a superhero movie and there's all these people with these extraordinary skill sets, and they're freezing and they're burning and they're like, whatever, lighting shit on fire. And then on the other side, they need a mentor that goes like, whoa, 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 whoa. If you want to have relationships, if you want to get things done, if you want to use this skill set in a productive way, you have to kind of learn to harness it, right?
Right. Okay.
You need a mentor. That could be in the form of a therapist. That could be in someone that has the skill sets that you lack about getting organized. That could be in the form of a friend that is less creative than you are and more logistical. But you need someone that helps you kind of build some guardrails so the ball does not keep going in the gutter.
Right. Or like have some kind of options. Like, okay, well maybe do this, or like maybe you should.
Yeah, just like I did right now. I built the question for you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
So we did exactly what you need someone to do for you, because you could not articulate exactly what it is that you called for. And I said, okay, hold on. But let me help put some guardrails around this so I can understand where we're going and what we're doing and what you're wanting to do. So you need to find someone that can do that for you until you can do it for yourself. And maybe you need someone that will always have to be there to help you do it for you, right? But we just did exactly the exercise of what you need. And now I want you to go out into the world, find someone that will do that, and tell them exactly what I did during this process so you can explain it. And you don't get lost in the weeds while you explain it. And we end up in, down the rabbit hole to the point that we don't know what's up or down or sideways and eating mushrooms and shit.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, love. And artists are beautiful people, really, honestly. But it does come with some drawbacks. Just try not to be so hard on yourself. Just find someone that understands how to help you put things in a way that makes sense, okay?
Okay.
All right, babe. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Bye.